Hi everyone, welcome to the first edition of MB's EDC Confidential, and I'm really happy to have Randy from Randy's WSG with me. Randy's one of the nicest guys on YouTube. I know he's going to get embarrassed when I say this. He moderates for loads of people's lives, and he's a really experienced YouTuber with a lot of videos. And just over I think it's about 1100, nearly 1200 subs now. So
1166.
yeah, that's great. So so as this is new, just to give you an idea of the format, I'm going to go through some questions so we learn a lot more about Randy and Randy's channel, and I hope you enjoy it. So here we go. So Randy, shall we start with a pocket check?
Okay.
What are you carrying today?
Let me pull it out real quick. Well, I'm almost always carrying this in some form. It's my Super Tinker. I got a really nice wax canvas pouch, and then this is a brass pin that I just got from Eric Starr in the Discord. It was a really awesome gift. Yeah, this is my Super Tinker with the Silvertech scales.
Oh, I like the scales on that. Yeah.
My most carried knife. I'm not sure if it's titanium, but it's one of the Olight rechargeable lights.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
It has two modes. It's twist on, but you have like a low setting, and then you have a high setting. So I really like that for that one. I got all weather notepad, and in the back I just have a Hank and a charger. I'll show the Hank though. This is my only cool Hank is this one, but.
Oh, okay. The Mandalorian. Yeah, that's cool. I haven't got into Hanks yet. I watched Sussex EDC's video explaining what a hank. I hadn't really understood it because I have a handkerchief which I use to blow my nose on or to wipe the nose of my grandchildren. It's a granddad's handkerchief. I am a granddad.
Is it like a white one?
Yeah. I have it in my pocket.
I was gonna grab one to talk about it actually, so that's good that you have one.
Yeah, but I didn't understand what the hanks were. But then when Sussex explained that it's that typically they have a microfiber on the back. Yeah. So you can use it for cleaning your glasses or things like that. So I now see why people carry them, and I guess probably don't blow their noses on. So I'd have to have that and my handkerchief. But that's really cool though. Yeah, I
follow.
Yeah.
But if you have a soft handkerchief though, it kind of works the same way to wipe your glasses.
Yeah, I think that they weren't popular during COVID because of spreading diseases, but I think they're a bit more environmentally friendly than using lots of tissues. And I do change it every day, so I don't carry it, until it's a disgusting color or anything like that.
I'm also carrying this Boker Stockman. I think it's an 85, 88.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
But so Boker sent me a couple shields, and it's a really nice knife. It's not too worn. Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
A really nice blade. I really like it a lot. It has good walk and talk. And then I guess since this is coming out tomorrow, I can show this one. This is the knife I'm carrying today.
Oh, this is the one you built from that self-build kit, yeah?
A couple hours ago. And I did the overview, and then tomorrow I'm going to upload, or I guess today when this gets shown, is I'm going to show me building it. It was actually really easy. It was really nice. Feels really. It's a great knife, but
yeah.
So I figured I'll carry that for a little bit and a couple weeks and see how it is.
Oh, that's brilliant! Thanks, Randy. That's great. This isn't really about me, but I'll just do mine quickly. And I've been carrying this today. I'm working from home, so I can carry this. This is the Openl number 9 DIY, and it has a couple of bits, and then it has a bit holder in the base. I sort of bought it because it was odd, and then I sort of like it a little bit. I like it because the blade is a bit different to the normal Openl. It it wasn't any better finished than the other Openl I have. So it's not that the actual edge isn't well ground, but no, it's interesting, and it's got the sort of the wire cutter and stripper parts on it as well. So
I like that one.
Yeah, it's sort of. I might give it to my son, who's an electrician. I gave him my Nipex electrician one. Well, actually, we swapped it. I got a Bokeh Atlas, a Bokeh Plus Atlas from it, and then the one I always have is my Victorinox Midnight Manager. So that literally, apart from when I've flown a couple of times, this hasn't left my pocket since I got it about a year ago. I just love it. I use it like once or twice a day. It's just brilliant. So anyway, that's enough about me. This is about you. So okay, so moving on from the pocket check. So how long have you been creating videos for YouTube?
So my first videos are I think about 12 years old.
Wow.
But I didn't really start making video. I started like making constant videos about 8 years ago. And then about 6 years ago, I just kind of stopped because of work and school. So I had to do for a while, a couple things here and there. And then almost a little over a year ago, I started making more videos. And just kind of just random stuff about tools, first aid kits, knives, and coins even.
Yeah. I've seen some of your coin stuff as well, and I saw you did quite a lot of medical stuff, a lot of first aid kits and that sort of thing early on.
Well, that was like a big. I'm a certified nursing assistant. I was an EMT, and now, but so I have a lot of medical background. So that was like when I really like kits, not just aid kits, but like fire kits, EDC kits. I really like those. I like the pre-made ones. I like making my own. Yeah. And that's where I was going with the channel.
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah, I mean that's quite a time to have started that long ago. I mean, I don't think I even watched YouTube that time ago. I'm a bit of a late starter with this, but I think that's amazing. And what inspired you to start your own channel? What made you want to do it?
Well, I was really into like prepping. Kind of EDC and knives, but like it was into prepping. That was what got me started. And there was a channel that was giving away a Mosin Nagant. It's an old Russian World War II rifle.
Oh, right. And I can tell this is an American channel. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
Are they allowed to do that? Are you allowed to do that still? Can you still give away?
FFL licensed person, but yeah.
Okay.
But they wanted you to make a video.
Yeah.
So I made a couple prepping videos.
Right.
Then I started making other videos about stuff I had. Just here and there. I deleted most of my old ones. I kept up a few, but
right.
But I was just really into prepping. I liked the show Doomsday Preppers at the time. Yeah. I don't know anymore, but I was watching lots of prepping channels. And if you get a chance, what's it called? It's like Urban EDC. It's like Urban EDC or something like that. It's I'll have to look it up. I'll take it in a second. But there's
sure.
Urban Prepper. That's what I was thinking.
Urban Prepper. Okay. I've seen Canadian Prepper, I think.
Yeah. There's Canadian Prepper. Kind of.
I can't remember what made it. Must have been one of the channels I watched, and then suddenly it popped up, and it's a real rabbit hole to go down, though, isn't it? And
but you gotta be careful. The channels are pretty. They've gotten more extreme lately.
I used to watch Wrangler Star. Yeah, and it started off. I was watching things about cutting down trees and being a forestry fireman and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then it started getting a bit hardcore and talking about spraying stuff onto cameras and body armor and
bad things to Americans. Basically, that's what his channel is about. Yeah.
I unsubscribed. I just it was getting a bit extreme for me. I mean, it's fine if if that's his thing, that's okay. And he, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk badly about other YouTubers because I think everybody has their place on here. So,
but one channel though, like the Urban Prepper, he doesn't really talk about politics. He seems a pretty down to earth guy.
yeah,
That's what I like about channels like that.
yeah.
But there's a lot of channels I unsub to in the past couple of years that they were just too extreme, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are some some crazy people,
yeah.
Out there and on YouTube too. So, okay. And so how did you decide on the sort of the topic or niche for your channel then? So was that linked to having watched sort of preppers and that sort of thing, or?
Well, it's kind of hard to answer that without I have to split my channel from the old stuff and the new stuff.
Yeah.
So the old stuff, yeah, it was from prepping. Even when I was a kid, I think it was the 5th grade, we built a survival kit in class, and that was awesome. I love it. I love Swiss Army knives. I love camping stuff, So that kind of was a big part of it, and I had a big medical background, and so
Yeah.
and then more recently, it was just kind of like I was just gonna show my stuff, talk about stuff, teach stuff.
Yeah.
And then I discovered patty potato pillars.
Yeah.
He's really passionate about knives.
Yeah.
And he made it seem really fun. He said, "Well, why don't you just show off your knife? Anybody can join in." So I did. And then I just kind of went crazy and started with now my knife channel.
It gets a bit addictive, doesn't it?
Great.
And I mean, I always used to have a few knives when I was a kid because I used to go fishing and I lived near the country, and and you do a bit of whittling, never anything, very arty, but sort of just carving stuff from wood. And my dad did a lot of wood carving. I've got some of his carving still, but yeah, I think I mean the problem in the UK now is that you're seen as being a bit of a nutcase if you collect knives, and it should be okay because the sort of knives collected aren't anything like those used to stab people. It's normally young people, normally young males, mainly stabbing each other really, and a few odd guys. Unfortunate people who we have care in the community, which doesn't work for people with mental health problems sometimes. But that's completely different to the sort of people that we know that collect knives. It's a much different thing. It's a tool that's can be beautiful as well, can't it? So yeah. So it was Paddy that sort of guided you towards this
100%.
niche. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm a big fan of Paddy, and I was lucky enough to meet him at Sharp Show last year, and which was great. So, just sort of how do you come up with the ideas for your videos? Then, what sort of process do you have? Or
I kind of wing it mostly. I do. I have a list of other topics other than knives.
Yeah.
That I have like as future ideas for when I don't have a knife. And a lot of people have given me knives, and I haven't shown them all because I've been spreading them out because I'm basically disabled, so I don't work right now. And so which is I mean I'm getting by fine. I'm not I don't want any sympathy, but I spread out all my knives so I can make the content last longer.
Yeah. I mean, I struggle to do 1 or 2 videos a week, and you're normally doing more than that. And I've noticed from your mail calls, you get sent a lot of knives because you're popular on here, Andy. That's why I think so.
Well, there's a lot of great people though. I think it's not you said I'm kind, but I'm only reflecting what people are showing me.
I think I said I was on Tom from Knife Delights sort of chat show. I think you've done it as well, haven't you? And he's a lovely guy. And I don't think I expected there to be such a community feel on YouTube. When you sort of just watch it and you don't watch live shows, it's a bit like TV, isn't it? But when you start to know people from the live shows and and the giveaways, and or you get invited onto somebody's show, or the Discord groups, that sort of support that. It is a whole community, and it feels, it excuse me, it sort of reminds me, of the TV show Cheers,
Right?
it's somewhere you can maybe pop into one of the Discord groups, and people know you, and you have a chat, and
Yeah.
I never expected that sort of community. So
Well, even talking with you, through video chat, that's something I normally don't like doing. I
yeah
hate having people, but it's like I know you so well now. I feel like, not like, you know,
yeah I know I
I know
know I know what you mean. Yeah,
I feel comfortable with talking with all you guys.
yeah.
You're on Discord, and
Yeah, it's good. It's good, and I think I'll put a link to the Discord
oh, yeah,
group which is the Slip Joint Sanitarium. So that's from Slip Joint Sawyer. He started it, and
copy my videos. I have it all my videos for the joint.
fantastic. That's good, and as well, I'll put a link to your channel as well, Randy. So that's a great thing about this. Yeah, and I think that's been good as well, because making videos can be quite hard. Coming up with ideas and filming them, it's a lot harder than you think, and you put a lot of effort in. Well, I do, and it still looks about as good as somebody's dash cam. It doesn't look it doesn't always look great, but I like the process, and I like
Yeah.
sort of doing it. So but it's interesting. Yeah, I guess a lot of your ideas come from the mail calls that you have, and people sending stuff,
Yeah.
and you take part in some of the traveling knives as well that go around.
When I can, it's just budget. Actually, I'm doing a traveling knife right now.
Yeah,
Rusty Miner sent me one, and I guess I'm kind of orchestrating it.
yeah,
Jesse, I think Big J is going to do it, and I'm going to see. I'd ask. There's a few people I want to ask if they want to join in on it too, but
yeah, it's good. It's good
because you get more interaction. You got to do with other channels, other people.
Yeah, yeah, and it's always good to see other people's reviews of the same same knife that's gone around.
That's what it comes to, like when you're talking about the pull of a knife. Someone says, "Oh, this is a 7 pull," and then you get it and it's like a 3, or a 10 or something. You kind of you get an idea of not you just get an idea of how they view what the knife is to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say it's only been the last year that I started learning any of this language.
No, me too.
Like walk and talk, the pull, jimping. I mean, I had no idea what jimping was until I watched a couple of videos, and now I'm starting to get it. I still don't understand all of the stuff around steels and hardness, but I'm getting there over time, maybe. So
that's the hardest thing to learn is the steels.
Yeah.
I like 440C and D2, and then whatever.
I like something I can sharpen. I mean, that's one of the things. And I know Paddy says that the Magna Cut is fine to sharpen, but well, we'll see. I struggle with some of the harder ones. So
I only have a few of the harder steels, and I haven't had to sharpen them, so I don't know.
Well, maybe that's a benefit. I don't know. I'm used to the Victorinox ones. They're not so hard and durable, but at least they're easy to sharpen, which I quite like. So that's good. Right, next question then. So, of your videos, which is your favorite one, or the one you're most proud of?
It took me a while to think about this one. So I did a video on it's called the SOL, Survive Outdoors Longer, SOL Phoenix.
Right.
Multi-tool. You have a fire starter, you have tinder, you got a whistle, you got a light, and you have a blade that you can pull out with. There, if I can get it out. You have a blade that has like wrench tools and other stuff on it. Jimping.
Cool. So, yeah.
I did a really, really thorough video. This was like 7-8 years ago. I did a really thorough video on this one.
Yeah.
I covered everything on it. I talked about the pluses, the minuses, and I think it only got like I mean, it's not bad, but I think I only got like a couple, like 1,000 views, 1,500 views.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't mind. I mean, that's good for the long form video. But
it's hard, isn't it? Because
yeah.
it's difficult to predict how many views you're going to get.
Oh, I just looked at it now, 6,700.
Oh, well, that's a lot more than you said.
Yeah.
So that's
No, that was a really good one. And then there's another Survive Outdoors longer video where they have a little survival kit.
yeah.
And then I show what you can add to make it better. And
Yeah.
that one too. But the Phoenix, the reason why I like it because I was critical of it. I was honest, and I kind of talked about why I don't like it, why it's not good.
Yeah. I try to be straight about it. I think it's easy to be positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I was. Go on.
I was just saying I was negative on it.
Yeah.
I criticized it, and I'll talk about that in a minute later. But after I criticized it, I was honest. I was fair, and I sent the SOL their Facebook page a link to the video.
Yeah.
Immediately, I got 2 dislikes. So I don't think I'm ever going to work with them. They're also part of Venture Medical Kits. Have you heard of them?
No, I've not.
Okay, it's a big medical kit in the U.S., but they're the same company.
Okay.
But I had to be critical because it just sucked.
No, I think you have to. I mean, I think the most critical I've been has been about Openl.
Yeah.
I know I've had a lot of stick from some of our friends who are big Openl fans, and I guess in the end it's a cheap knife, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it had just this aura about it. It's a design classic, and then the one that I bought just was badly finished, and the edge was rolled, and it cut okay, but it didn't feel right. So I was really disappointed with it. So I gave it quite a lot of stick, really, and I'm not quite sure why I ended up buying a second one, but I think it was just because I hadn't seen it. So so I think that's where I've been most critical so far. But generally, I've been appreciative of the sort of the work that's gone into it and that sort of thing.
And I try to be like that too, but say with old timer knives,
yeah,
every single new one I've gotten like 7 or 8. I think let's just say 7. 5 of them were not usable, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
So I had, and through TKN, if he says I might be being too picky, but I had an assisted opening knife that wouldn't open all the way.
Right.
And I couldn't adjust the pivot because the way it was, there was nothing holding the other side. It just was through. So I had to use a pair of vice grips to hold it in there, and scratched it and scuffed it up. I got it to work, but now it's just like it's all scratched up. It doesn't look nice. And then I got one of the knives I had, the blade. Actually, it was so far over it was hitting the brass liners.
Right.
The tip was bent up, so I had to file the tip off.
Oh, geez.
Because it was just completely bent. And then I had an old timer 8OT, and I had the desert ironwood, and it was like it was so dry. It was just like splinters all the way down. So I sent it to get a new one.
Yeah.
And then the new one I got, like, it looks a lot better. It's not perfect. I still had complaints about the wood, but then I didn't realize while they're making the whole video, my the blade, the clip point was like crooked like that.
Oh, really?
It wasn't just like bent. It was like it had a wave.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, and I mean those are not good. Those aren't functional knives when they give you splinters or the blade hits the side of the knife.
Yeah.
So I don't think I was being really critical, but I just haven't had good luck with old timer.
It's not good quality control. I mean, I'm a quality manager for food and stuff, but it's important that that there's decent quality control, and I think that makes a big difference between a good experience and a not good experience with this sort of knife. I mean, I don't know how Victorinox do it. I've only had, I think I've got one Victorinox with a little bit of gapping at the edge, and that's the only one I've seen. But all of them have just been perfect.
I have one with blade rub. If I can find it, my Halloween edition classic SD has blade rub.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I can show it on here. The file rubs on this really easily.
Okay.
It's probably not going to show, but you can.
Yeah. It's
especially when you open the file, it just grinds right into it, like right in here. So it's not like it's grinding.
I'll have to check out my classic SD. It's not. I haven't noticed that on the.
Well, I have about like 5 now, so this doesn't do it
on the manager. Yeah.
But it's like on the other one when I close it right here, it just grinds.
Yeah.
And I'm not pushing. I'm doing it like that. I'll show you again, but it's just not. I guess it's a rare knife. I'm really doing it, and I still feel it, but don't get me wrong. I love old timer knives.
Yeah.
This is an old USA 8OT, and it's a fantastic knife.
Yeah, I never understood it, and it's interesting. I think a lot of people do this. I started off looking at new knives, and modern knives, and then I started to get a bit more interested in some of the older ones as I see them or as I get my hands on them, and you sort of feel the history in them, don't you?
Yeah, they tell
and there's more character than some of the new ones.
They tell a nice story.
Yeah.
Even if they're like totally whittled down. I love finding knives that have been used. They're almost like they look like little, like almost like an awl.
Yeah. So
I love those though.
Yeah.
They've been used so much, and they still work fine. The one I have right there, the 8OT, it's pitted, and I cleaned it up real good, but it works great.
Yeah. I think that's the issue we have in the UK is that it's really difficult to buy secondhand knives. There aren't as many opportunities for that because they don't have them in thrift shops. You don't have many knife shops. You can go to, there are a few knife makers and a few online areas to go, but they're not as prolific because there's just a strong sort of anti-knife feeling here in the UK.
So I was going to say about that, I think there's certain laws where the politicians, they don't care about the problem. They just like they're doing something. Like
exactly, yeah.
Like they were trying to this music's satanic. We got to ban it, or we got to restrict MTV. We got to add age verification. They just they just want something to make them look like they're doing something.
It's just sort of like knee-jerk stuff, isn't it? And I sort of understand it, but I genuinely don't want there to be knife crime, and any knives I carry are not there for defense. It's just to use as a tool around the house, or I've always carried a pocket knife, and the sort of knives that are involved in crime are normally a lot different. I think they're nearly always kitchen knives because they're cheap, and or maybe some of the tactical knives, but the UK knife laws, there are things banned in there that I've never seen on the streets, that I've only ever seen in kung fu movies.
Yeah.
I can't even pronounce most of them. I did a video about them, and I had to, I was struggling, but things like shurikens and foot claws and hand claws that I don't think anybody's used at all.
Some places are illegal in some places in America.
Yeah, I think that's where it's more complex in the US because you get city to city and state to state laws. But it is what it is, and I think we just sort of work within it. And I'm quite happy with slip joints most of the time, and the odd locking knife I have, then I use around the house. So next question, then. What do you like most about your sort of YouTube experience since you've been on YouTube?
Well, I think you nailed it earlier. We're talking about the community. I feel like it's like, I just imagine a circle. So here's the slip joint community. Here's, and then, the EDC community, the overall knife EDC community, prepping. it's all like interconnected. They're all like, over, you know. But I really like the niche of slip joints. Everyone's fantastic. They're nice. A few people, you know, they'll say you talk about politics. I really don't like politics. In my channels, I try and totally get rid, you know, not talk about anything.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that really irks me. I don't care, you know, as long as you're a nice person and you're honest. That's
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think probably. I think the only time I'd bring up politics would be to make fun of it, and
and that's something you have to. With like the 9 flaws, you do have to talk about politics, but you're not talking about ideology or anything like that, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've said before. I think that there are a few of your American countrymen who, as soon as I start talking about what's UK legal and what isn't, then they're suggesting that I overthrow the government and replace the law, or even worse, that I just ignore the law, you know, and end up in jail, which I don't think is a good thing to do. But I think there are quite a few of these armchair revolutionaries that like to comment. But
people are joking.
And do you get some of the people that watch almost all of your videos and comment on most of them? You know, the ones that keep coming back.
And that's all that makes me happy. I don't want to shout any one person out because everyone that does it, they all deserve a shout out, and I'd be talking forever. But there's a few people. They have a little purple heart next to their name when I'm checking my comments, and they comment all the time.
Yeah,
and always appreciate it. It's, you know.
Yeah. It's always good, and I know I quite like some of those conversations that you have, you know, through the comments.
Yeah.
Which I think that's something where maybe YouTube could do a bit more to open that up. I don't know how they do that, but to make it a bit easier to talk to people, you know, because the comments it's a bit like talking on a one-way radio, isn't it? So it can take a while. I quite like the trolls, to be honest. They just make me laugh, and some of the crazy things.
100%, yeah.
I like it even more when you get other people pitch in to come to your defense. So that's good. Or sometimes when there are people bickering, that there were two people on one of mine. I think it was to do with the Openl, and they were having a discussion about whether it was a flat grind or a concave grind on an Openl, and I had no idea, so I just left them to it. But it was just fun just seeing these sort of pop up. But I think you're right. I think the community and that sort of I think generally things are positive. A few trolls, but not so many, and not any to take seriously. I've not had any death threats yet, which hopefully I won't get. So sort of following on from that, so what channels or which creators do you really admire, and that that you like, you like their channels, or if you see their video come up, that's going to be the one that you watch straight away? Who would that be?
Well, this is a kind of a complicated question for me anyways. So obviously I mentioned earlier Patty Potato Pillars. I love his videos. I love his passion. And Warthog too. Rick, he has awesome stuff. He's an awesome guy. He gives out so many knives to people. He's just he's got a killer collection though. Another a big channel would be Choir Boy Cutlery Outdoors. Have you seen him?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's awesome. I love talking with him. He makes me feel like good, other than nice. He feels almost like it's like therapy. He just is such a nice guy. He sent me a box of knives to review, and lots of people sent me knives, and I'm like, something was awesome. But he sent me a bunch of Rosecraft knives, and that's when I cut my finger really bad, really bad.
You are renowned for this, though, Randy. Come on, that's.
I got no cuts right now.
No, that's good. That's good. And at least we know, you're trained, and you always have a good first aid kit as well. So.
Well, that's when I cut. Like, Mom, we gotta go to the ER, and she's like, "Let me see." Like, oh my God, we gotta go to the ER. Like, Fireboy Cutlery's, he is a really positive person. I think he's a really. It's hard to describe him. I think he helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then as for like smaller channels, Steel City Knives, Martin,
Yeah.
he is the most passionate person about knives. I don't know how to like. He loves the knife he's talking about. And actually, I have a knife right here. I was going to show him when we were talking about older knives.
Yeah.
He gave me this IXL.
Oh, that's beautiful.
A really beautiful pearl.
Yeah.
And I'll just show the blades real quick. It's a nice little pen blade. I don't know if I can get it up there and show you the hang stamps, but just a fantastic knife, a fantastic gift. And he, like I said, you can just tell he loves the history of the knives. He'll tell you the whole company's history, and he makes it like, he's so enthusiastic, and he makes it enjoyable.
Yeah.
He has a great passion.
Yeah. And yeah, then, sorry, go on. Yeah.
I was going to say one more channel. Slippy, Joint Sawyer. Yeah. He is very professional, but he's not like a robot. He's not cold. He feels genuine. He makes excellent videos, and his channel just skyrocketed, and I knew that was such great content. So
yeah. I mean, I think Slippy's consistency, and getting to 1,000 subscribers. He was just putting out, I think, one video a day.
That's enough.
And consistent and good quality, and giving people what they want, as well as being on the Slippy and Thrifty show. And what I like about Matt is he calls a spade, so he doesn't mince words with stuff if he likes it or doesn't like it. And I think that comes across as genuine, and it's great for his audience like that. So I think really sort of consistent. And but just going back to Steel City Knives, I think his video, if I see it come up in my feed, and I know that's going to be one of the ones I want to watch, because I always learn something from his. So
he actually just uploaded a video I'm getting ready to watch after this.
Okay, please don't start yet. Let's just finish this first.
But when you guys are done watching this, go check out Steel City Knives. He just did a video. Knives I've picked up in Sheffield, so that's going to be a good video.
That'd be a good one. I mean, what I try and do in my videos, in the descriptions now, I put a list of all the channels that I like. There are a few of the bigger channels that I started watching, and then a lot of the ones that I've been watching more recently. Some of the smaller channels, like ourselves, that I think are well worth watching. So I don't know if anybody ever follows those links, but I always think it's good to do that.
When I think it's good to do that, but I always try to just focus on a couple channels, like personally.
Yeah.
About Brian's Knives, or 865 Knives. We just did a sticker swap. I'll talk about them. I'll put the sticker out there. I'll link down below. I don't want to. I almost feel like it's when you have like a list that's like a page long.
Yeah. It's probably
they're gonna like look at the first 10 and go down. I think.
I think maybe I should do that. Maybe that would work better.
It might be wrong though. That's just me. That's just my thinking.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I do try to do, and I feel quite passionate about, and that's, if I get an idea for something, I want to give that credit. If I copy that in one of my videos, or use that and build on something, like there was a small toolkit, like the lightest possible toolkit from, I think it was Todd Parker, maybe. Anyway, it's in the link in the video I did. Then I put a link to it. Or if I got an idea from, there's a guy called Ben Valak, a British guy. So I put a link. I just give a bit of credit to him. So because I think it's so easy just to copy somebody and redo it, and I don't see any problem with doing that, but giving somebody credit as well,
And I should probably do that more, because it's hard not to. You watch 10 videos about one knife, they're going to influence you, how you think about the knife, how you talk about the knife, and it's hard not to copy people.
Yeah. To be fair, Randy, you do a lot of shout outs to people, so I think you're pretty good at doing that.
I ain't got that.
Okay. So sorry, go on.
Acquired by Cutlery. So I got that from him. He shared my videos. He shouted me out a lot, and so he kind of gave me praise for doing shout outs too. And I just like, I just kept going with it.
I think there are a lot of good guys like RJ, and he has a lot of people on his show. I know Paddy's had people on his show. Tom from Knife Delights. I mean, I don't think I had many subs at all when I went on his sort of Saturday chat, it was and I was quite scared to do that, but it was really nice to do it.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'd like to do some live shows as well. So I will get round to that. It's just building up courage. So it's nice to do this sort of recording to get used to getting towards that.
And I was nervous about doing my first lives, and even me and Jesse McJames, we have a live show every other Thursday.
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah.
Thank you. But it's fun. But I was so nervous the first time. I was nervous the first time going into RJ's, and oh man, my camera. It was on my old computer, so the camera sucked, the connection sucked, the computer was slowing down, and it was just horrible. So I it freed that like stupid face and we're like. But
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Once you start doing this, you've got to. It's a bit like having children or dogs. You know, they're going to embarrass. You're going to end up being embarrassed by them. You know, the dogs will pee on the floor or crap in the most inappropriate place. Kids will end up breaking something. So, you know, you have to get sort of past that embarrassment and just have a go. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen?
That actually happened in my last video where I was putting together that knife. Is my cat comes up and starts meowing at me and screaming at me.
Yeah.
So I have to pause the recording, let him out, and then figure out where I left off from.
Yeah. I end up having to record late-ish when the kids are in bed, because otherwise I think when I was doing the show with Tom, I think my daughter popped in to see what I was doing. So
no, it's live. I mean,
yeah.
There's a video from some guy was getting interviewed on CNN, and he had like a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they came in the room while he was doing the interview, and he's just trying to ignore them, and then the nanny trying to drag them out. You could tell he was defeated inside.
Yeah,
but it was fun. It's fun when that happens, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's sort of real life, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what do you want to do with your channel for the future? Do you have any ideas about where you want to go with it? Do you want to do some different stuff, or?
I'm definitely going to do different stuff. I'm definitely going to keep talking about knives.
Yeah.
I want more EDC gear stuff eventually. And get back into prepping, because I figure EDC and knives and prepping, like there's a channel called True Budget EDC and prepping.
Yeah.
He used to call it EDC, but now he's calling it everyday prepping instead.
Okay. I guess it's all on a spectrum, isn't it? So EDC I see is what I need for my day ahead, and I guess the next level is maybe being ready for if there's bad weather or if your car breaks down, and then it's
first aid kit,
the breakdown of society, which I guess hopefully will not happen in our time, but it's a possibility. But
we're getting close to that, though.
I don't know. Maybe it's my British optimism against the sort of the US sort of. I wouldn't say pessimism, but very much sort of that there's an overall sort of anti-government feel, isn't there?
Well, it's kind of 50-50, but I stopped preparing. I stopped doomsday preparing.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. If it was that bad, to where I need to pull out, my pews and MREs or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to get dark, so I I don't. That's not a place I want to be.
If it gets that bad, I think we're all screwed, really, aren't we? So,
Yeah,
but you know, you see the way some things have gone in the Ukraine, for instance, you know,
yeah.
and
Getting guys
um,
the whole world.
yeah. So I'm just glad I'm not there, and you know, it's you know, you don't want that for anybody
Yeah,
to have, do you? So a bit more EDC, a bit more sort of prepping and that sort of thing.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was my intention to do a lot more EDC stuff, and then I got sort of into the Discord group, and
Yeah,
I've got 6 times as many knives as I had to start with, and you know, but I've enjoyed that because I've learned a lot more about knives, and nowhere near as much as most of the guys in there, but I've enjoyed learning that. I think that's the other thing. I enjoy learning stuff to you know, when I research for a video and that sort of thing, even if it's just about notebooks or collapsible cups or you know anything. It's just nice to go into that sort of detail and then sort of share it with people. But
exactly.
so I'm definitely looking forward to some more EDC stuff from you, Randy. So that I think that'd be great.
And again, I'll do more coin videos too.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah, no, I like those too, especially like the Roman coins
Yeah,
and stuff.
I need
That
to
was,
finish 12 Caesars.
yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And um, so the last one about EDC, really. So what would you say was your best and your worst EDC purchase? You were talking a bit about some of the knives and that weren't so good, but what was the best and worst?
Well, nothing's. I already showed both of them, so this is my best.
Yeah,
This Super Tinker, and I guess when you said best, I was thinking of what I use the most.
yeah,
I have knives that are worth 3, 4, 5 times this much. I have not a lot. I have a couple,
yeah,
and awesome knives. But this one, I use the Super Tinker daily.
yeah,
I use it when I'm doing leather craft, when I'm cleaning my nails. Um, I do have a few other. I have the the Huntsman, and then I have that custom Explorer Ranger from Ouija. Those are all really great.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, the Super Tinker is my most carried. I love it. My least or my most hated EDC is the SOL Phoenix.
Oh, really? That
I,
it was that bad?
it was terrible. I forgot to get it out, but I have a knife from SOL, and it's called the Core Light,
Yeah,
and it's a fantastic knife. It's super sharp, has a light and a whistle on it.
yeah.
No problems with it at all. So, and I got a couple of them actually, but then when I got this, I don't know if you can see the spring. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just is crap.
Okay.
Clips
Okay.
crap. The light doesn't work because every time I put it in my pocket, I'm going to pull it out, I just bump the light, it comes on.
Yeah.
The ferrocerium rod is a pain in the butt to get out, but that's the only thing that works good. The tinder box right here, I had to pry it open and cut the edges because it was so tight. And then they have a little, let me see if I can find it. The blade, let me see. It just
Yeah.
supposed to lock in there, but you can just pull right out.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
now on camera, but it just pulls right out. And I didn't realize it had a little locking mechanism right there.
Right.
So then you get this little really crappy blade. I sharpened it a little bit, but it was not. I could rub it across my hands like this. It would not cut.
Okay. Okay.
So a blade that doesn't cut. Um,
And it's quite a short blade to have both
yeah,
a standard blade and a serrated part.
yeah, and
It's like the worst of both parts.
yeah. And then you look at the
Yeah.
concept production of this, or for the production, the blade had a bottle opener, and if you look at these little the little wrench holes,
Yeah.
they're not filled very well, and they don't fit. They don't fit very well. So
Yeah.
that's one of the problems. And that's why I just did a really negative review on it.
Yeah.
About to get in. There's no lanyard hole. The whistle kind of sucks. But yeah, the concept art it had the bottle opener on the knife, and they have SOL has their own signature fire tinder tabs,
Yeah.
and they showed in the concept art that's what they're going to put in there, and instead they just put in some crappy little rolls of cotton, not their signature fire starters.
Okay.
Utter disappointment. I thought I got a Chinese knockoff.
Yeah.
But no, I got this from Sportsman's Warehouse, the retail store just down the street. $25, $24, something like that. Just
that's quite a lot for that, because that looks like, you know, the sort of Temu purchase that I might make. I don't know if you've tried Temu yet. I got sort of sucked in. I thought I'd buy some cheap stuff, and then I'll do some videos about it, and then I've just got a backlog of so much stuff to do. I haven't done the videos yet, and I've got it sitting in a bag. But there were, out of about £20 worth of stuff that I bought, and I ended up getting refunds on some of it, and then buying more stuff, because they give you a refund. They don't give you the money back. You have to spend it with something else, and then so. I had some bad purchases on there, but that's disappointing, because it promised a lot and you thought it was a decent make, and then it just
they really like their other knives. Like they had like survival kits, knives. The survival kit that I got from them has a really nice CRKT Doug Ritter knife in it.
Yeah,
have the potential to do really good stuff. This was just crap, and they sold it for way too much. Discontinued now. I mean, thank God. I got but way too expensive. This was 8 years ago when I got it,
and you still feel bad about it.
Terrible. Worse than that mess up.
No, I think that's great. It's I think there's a lot of the thing that annoys me a bit about some of the EDC stuff at the moment is just, as soon as something becomes popular, like the Milwaukee Fastback, or the 6-1 or something, suddenly the price goes up a lot.
Oh, a lot, yeah. Especially Amazon.
Yeah. That's not so good. Right, we're nearly at the end of my questions then, Randy, and I've just got a bit of a teaser for you, and let me just get the slide up if I can get it to work.
There you go.
Yeah, so this is part of my keep, carry, scrap. So it's based on I don't know if you've ever played this sort of after dinner game, which is like called Shag, Marry, Cliff. Yeah, it's not very PC, and I'm sure I would have been cliffed a lot of times if that came up. So I'm going to give you a selection of 3 knives. I've been kind to you, so these are all okay. So and you have to choose one to keep, but it's the keep in a box, not to carry. The second one is to carry, and you're going to carry it like every day, all the time. And then the third one, you've got to discard, scrap, give it away. It doesn't have to be literally scrap, but you can keep one, carry one, and throw one away. So your choice. I've given you 3 Victorinox. So the 111mm work champ. So that's quite a big boy, that one. I've got the Hercules, and this is slightly thicker than that. I've got you the Swiss champ, which in its own way is quite a chunky one. I don't know if you've got any of these yourself. And then the third one is the mini champ. So I've got you three champs to pick from. So which would you keep and why? Which would you carry and which would you scrap?
So I have a Chinese knockoff of the Swiss champ.
Okay.
But I love it.
Yeah.
But I don't ever carry it. So that would be, I think I'd keep the Swiss champ in a box.
Yeah.
And then the work champ is really cool, but I think I'd have to scrap that and carry the mini champ.
Okay, you've gone for the lightweight option, yeah.
I mean, I love the classic SD and the Rambler.
Well, you know my love for this little
manager,
and it's great as a fifth pocket carry. Yeah, I think that's a great choice. I mean, the Swiss Champ. I've watched a few YouTubers that actually carry that all the time, and call it a fifth pocket knife, which I don't. I mean, they must have a bigger fifth pocket than I have on my jeans. I did get a Chinese copy of an Outrider, which I gave to somebody else because I just wasn't quite happy with it. And
well, I have my Chinese knockoff is actually pretty good. The scales just popped off. Is the only problem, and it didn't have the slot for the toothpick or tweezers. I mean, it didn't have the opening. It has the slot right there. See?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the hole.
Right.
So I'm gonna take my custom scales, the 3D printed scales I got, and it'll fit. It's just slightly loose. Let me see if I can get it. It's just a little bit loose, so I'm gonna have to glue it on.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it's a really cool knife.
Yeah.
And then I think the biggest one, if I can find it real quick, the biggest one I carry is the Explore Ranger, and
that's quite a chunky boy, that one, isn't it? It's not so big, but it's quite wide. Yeah.
6 layers.
Right. Okay.
But you put this in your pocket, have it dangle down. It's really not a bad carry.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the Huntsman. This is a gift from Martin, so I should show.
I like my Huntsman. I've got the Huntsman and the Explorer now. They're both 5 layers, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
or no, this is 4.
Is it 4? See, oh geez, I still get confused about the I have to go on SAC Wiki for it to tell me how many layers there are. I'm just not good at counting them. I tried counting them from the back, and I normally get it wrong, and then somebody corrects me in one of the comments on that. So,
but they're great. I really. That's why it was like the Workman, the work champ. Is that what it was called?
The work champ, yeah.
I don't actually know anything about that one. And the picture I'm seeing is on my phone it's like that big. It looks. See that has the pliers, scissors. I can see all the.
It'd be like this one. Sorry, let me just put myself up. Let's go back to this so we can see. So yeah, so it's like this. So it's big.
Yeah.
And they have a locking blade, so it's quite a long blade. But what I like about this, which and this is one I got from Dan Bladebridge. It's a refurb one, but it has an amazing saw. Yeah. I was using this at the weekend because I was doing some work and I had to saw some branches up, about this thick, and it really cut. The saws, because they cut on the pull and the push. Yeah. They're really good. So that doesn't change your mind though, Randy, does it? That you're still scrapping that one, yeah?
Yeah, as the keeper.
Yeah. Okay. Swiss Champ is the keeper. You're gonna look after that one, and then the Mini Champ is the one you're going to carry.
Well, I'm probably gonna have either a multi-tool or modern folder. Yeah. So I think that would be fine. I don't need I already have a locking knife.
Okay. So that's scrap the work champ, keep the Swiss champ, and then carry the Mini Champ.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got some really nice little tools on there, and I like the sort of the orange peeler package opener. That looks cool.
For some reason, I really like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have some. And the little Warncliffe.
Yeah.
At the back there, I think that's really interesting. So
I almost got it in A-locks, but I really want the tweezers and toothpicks though.
Yeah, I don't use those as much, to be honest. Yeah, because I haven't got them on the Midnight Manager. I've got the pen and the light instead, which I use a lot. The house I live in is quite dark where we are. There aren't street lamps, and so sometimes I'm wandering through the house without all the lights on because I can't be bothered putting them on. So I just use my Midnight Manager. I probably look like a burglar walking around. And anyway, so Well, that's the end of this then, Randy. I'd just like to say a really big thanks for being my guinea pig in this. I couldn't think of anybody better that I would trust to try this out with than you. We've talked a lot in the Discord group and stuff, and I've you're such a nice guy. So thanks for sharing some of your stories and telling us a bit about why you do YouTube and some of the great things about it. For anybody that hasn't, please check out Randy's channel. I'm sure most people that watch mine will watch yours as well. And I'll put a link in the description below. And I look forward to seeing you again on one of the live streams and definitely chatting to you in the Discord group.
Yeah, no,
so thanks for this, Randy, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. No, it's fun to come on. It was good to talk to you face to face, or I mean, to see your face.
Well, it's as near face to face as we get, isn't it? So it's been good.
So
that's great. If you hang around, I'll just close it down now. So and then after the recording, we just have a quick chat. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So thanks, and thanks everyone, and I hope you enjoyed this. Please like it if you did. Please sub to our channels if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.
Thank you.